scenario, which probably you'll relate really well with today, given the settings we are in. So imagine our dearest Namita. She has given you this responsibility of organizing the gala dinner for Plaksha's Founder Day. Okay? So you individually, each one of you is organizing the gala dinner. This is 2450. We have 1,000 campuses of Plaksha across globe. We like that. And we now have about 1 million founders. So this Founders Day, for which you are designing the gala dinner, is hosting 1 million founders. These founders are extremely picky and competitive. So each one of them wants a unique and specific dish for the gala dinner. So Neeraj doesn't really like if his dish matches with SK. SK doesn't like it if it matches with Sameer, and so on and so forth. So you have this tough task, and if you don't do it, they get really annoyed and they try to kill you. Fun makes fun. You also don't have the luxury that the IA team has to reach out to your EAs, your offices, and get your profiles. So you have no idea beforehand what these founders like or don't like.
I have the answer. Everybody loves ketchup.
But remember, it has to be unique and specific. So it has to be unique and specific. That's the driving condition to solve this problem. And puzzled, you start thinking, how could you please these 1 million founders that are coming in 2450 for the Founders Day? How would you do that?
Quit.
You can't quit. We have to do the Founders Day.
Only one ingredient in one dish.
One ingredient in one dish. Okay. Anything else? It is 1 million founders. Everyone. Say that again? That's a good one. That's a smart one. It's 1 million different people, each one wanting a different dish, and you're curating the menu. What will you bring in the menu to make sure that each one gets a different dish?
So you do mix and match of multiple ingredients and multiple.
You got it right.
And
So,
you'll name it after the founder. That way they
so let's say you created 3 categories of things that could go to make this one dish. You said each founder will get to choose a vegetable, get to choose a meat, get to choose a carb, and that makes your dish. Now, if I have enough variety on the vegetable menu, I have enough variety in the type of meats that I offer, I have enough variety in the carbs sources that I offer, I've sort of tried to take care of getting as much variability in the menu as possible, that now I can deal with all of these 1 million different founders. Make sense? Looks like some of these founders you've been able to please. They found their right matches and they're happy. But as an organizer, you're still not sure. Will this be enough to satisfy 1 million founders? What could you now do? Right now, the menu had only 3 things. Could you do something else?
SK is really upset.
He looks pretty happy.
I will clamp down the other.
Anything else you could do to this menu to make sure that all of these 1 million founders are satisfied? Right now you had vegetables, meat, and carb. Add some more variety. So maybe I'll say, okay, I'll also offer a dessert. And now with the combination, it's a unique meal. I'll add, sorry. I should. I have appetizers, and a combination of those again makes a unique dish for each founder. That is how the body works to create the largest library in the world. There are 3 different groups of gene fragments. And since this is your first class, I will not overload you with biology jargon. Genes, just know, are specific sequences of your DNA which code for a particular protein. So the body takes different pieces from each of these fragments, matches them differently to create as much variety as possible in units of 3 and in units of 2 to create 1 million receptors on your cells. Each cell carries one type of receptor, but now you have millions of cells sitting here right now. One cell with receptors for mumps virus, one cell for receptors for tetanus, the bacteria that causes tetanus, and hence 1 million different kinds. So if you see an infection that your body still hasn't seen, or we haven't seen as a species, how are people able to defend for COVID? It was not that everyone was dying, because you already had the capability, the receptors to identify it, tickle your immune cells to produce antibodies against it. And there's one particular kind of immune cells called B cells, which produce antibodies in your body, which clear out this infection. That's how the body really creates a huge variety to handle any pathogen that you could see. The next question then to ask would be, why does body take all of this pain? Why create a million different receptors? Spending all that energy, resources, everything is an energy cost in your body, right? Why would the body do that?
Preservation.
Preservation of the body. Anything else? So you think it's an individual phenomena? It's trying to preserve your body and that's all?
Preserve itself.
So does it have any value at the species level?
It's a Darwinistic response.
Say that again?
It's a Darwin response. Every species want to propagate itself.
The propagation of
Somebody will succeed finding a pathogen to some
So it's always an arms race. Think about the time it takes for one heart to beat for the other. A lot of dancing, romance, candlelight dates, fights. And today it takes around an average of 28 to 30 years for merger of two parent cells to create just one new copy of themselves. That's the scale at which we create new copies. Bacteria multiply every 30 minutes or a few hours. So the rate at which they are evolving, they are learning, they are changing is much more faster than what we do to create a new copy of ourselves. And that is why the body has to put in all of these mechanisms. Otherwise, what a tragedy. A single cellular organism will kill such a beautiful multicellular organism in life. And that's why the body puts in all of these mechanisms in place. Now that we understand one aspect, the immune system is super complex. We haven't mastered it. We only understand one complex of it, or one component of it. But now that we understand it, how do vaccines help us boost this? Any guesses? All of us went to these health centers, got the COVID-19 shot, right?
expose you to that pathogen so that you are ready to fight.
So it gives you a controlled exposure to a particular pathogen and tingles those immune cells that, hey, activate your receptors. This is the kind of pathogen you're going to see. Get ready if you see it in the future. So those immune cells are activated. They produce these antibodies, which help you clear out the infection in your body. The last bit to help you understand this a little bit more technically, on the y-axis, I'm plotting the antibody concentration. On the x-axis, I'm plotting the time in days. Let's say in the month, on the 7th day, you decided to take the vaccine shot. This is your first exposure to that antigen, to that pathogen, but a controlled version. Your body starts responding and starts producing antibodies. The concentration of the antibodies goes up. When the body realizes everything's fine, there's no more infection, the antibodies are washed off. Because making that antibodies all the time is an energy cost for the body. It won't do it all the time. Unfortunately, day 30th, all the founders came on campus for the Founders Day. One of us was sick, maybe it was me, and some of us got the disease on day 30. When you really got the disease, the response of the body is much more stronger. Look at the concentration of the antibodies that are now produced, much more than the first exposure. So your body was a lot more ready to give an immune response to the infection that you were exposed to, and that is how vaccines help us boost immune response.